In recent months, an alarming pattern has emerged of illegal migrants attempting to infiltrate U.S. military bases. Just last month, 2 Jordanian nationals were arrested attempting to illegally enter Quantico, America's largest U.S. Marine Corps base. Now, for more reaction, let's bring in former Director of Special Operations for the DEA, Derek Maltz, along with former Acting Commissioner of the U.S. Customs and Border Patrol, Mark Morgan. Thank you both for being here, gentlemen. Mark, this is a deeply troubling trend that we're seeing here. Since this incident, another migrant from Mexico was stopped trying to enter Laughlin Air Base. That's in Texas just last week. Both of these incidents, they follow this similar episode that we saw in March involving Chinese migrants attempting to enter the U.S. Marine Corps, that base there in California. How worried should we be about this? This seems pretty concerning.
No, it is concerning. Yet, what have we heard from this administration? Nothing. In fact, when they have been asked about the question, once these incidents have uncovered, they've sidestepped every single question, and they refuse to be transparent with American people. Remember, look, there's no mistake. The issue with the Jordanians trying to get in the Marine Corps base, which is a couple of miles from where I live. Think about this. When we had the cargo vessel run into the bridge, what did you see immediately? Well, you saw the FBI come out immediately and say, hey, we want to make very clear we do not have any evidence that connects us to terrorism. That's what the American people need to know. That's what they should know. The same thing should be happening here. We should hear from their government. We should be hearing from the FBI with respect to what they understand this incident to be connected to or not. But let's make no mistake about this. For the past 40 months, we have been sounding the alarm that it's not if or when the terrorist threat comes to our country. The issue, it's already here because of the wide open borders.
Yeah, we still haven't heard a lot here from the Biden administration. Derek, despite growing concerns from Americans over these unauthorized entries into some of our nation's most secure military facilities, the Biden Defense Department doesn't have much to say. Watch this.
Force protection is always a priority at our DoD installations. I just don't have more to share on this particular incident. Whenever an incident like this happens, it usually starts an investigation process, and I just wouldn't be able to speak to that from here.
So, Derek, these are some of the most highly classified military facilities. Do you believe Biden's border policies have made these installations top targets for espionage operations by these foreign actors?
100%. I mean, look, terrorists and transnational criminals will take advantage of weaknesses. Right now, we're very soft on crime. We have open borders. But let's just look at the published Border Patrol stats at the southern border alone, in between the ports of entry. Under Trump, we had 11 from the terrorist screening data sets, right? And now we have 362. That's a 3,200% increase. You don't have to be an expert like Mark Morgan and Tom Holman and others on the border to understand every American is threatened by these guys coming into this country. Look at the gangs. They're terrorizing our country from Venezuela, Tren de Aragua. They're all over the country. We don't even have the proper intelligence. But you know what, John? What really annoys me is the lack of transparency, as Mark indicated with that great example with the FBI in Baltimore. They came out and they kind of eased the tension. But here's what we're getting. The FBI director, Chris Wray, is telling the country we have never seen the escalating threats that we face now. So that's a warning to everybody, and elections have consequences.
Great point. Mark, and speaking of espionage, in recent years, there have been more than 100 illegal incursions into the U.S. government facilities by Chinese intelligence agents. You briefly touched on this, but this is all happening as we're seeing that Chinese migrant encounters at the southern border. If you look at those numbers, we went from under 2,000 encounters in 2022 to more than 24,000 encounters last year. And we've already hit that figure this year. Why the spike? Do you believe that China's government is behind this?
Look, those are both good questions, and these are questions that our government and this administration should be answering and coming clean and being honest about with the American people, and they haven't. Look, we've seen, to Derek's point, you don't have to be a border security expert to understand, hey, this doesn't seem right. On the Chinese nationals, by the way, the 95% of them are single adult males of military age. We've seen an 8,000% increase in the flow of illegal alien Chinese nationals coming across since the Biden administration took over. That should be shocking to all of us. We should all be asking the questions you just asked. What does this mean? Why is this happening? And remember, this is the same time when our intelligence community and the director of the FBI says China is involved in a multi-pronged attack against our economic and national security. The director of the FBI represent, quote, that Chinese represents the threat of our generation, that they were looking to attack all aspects of our infrastructure. And this is a time when we had an 8,000% increase in single adult Chinese national males. You don't think this is a problem? Heck yeah, it is.
Yeah. And Derek, last question here before we go to break. But a major sex trafficking operation run by Venezuelan migrants got shut down by federal authorities in Louisiana. This was a gruesome operation. In many instances, they were involved a lot of minors. They were sold into the sex work by the cartels in order to enter the United States. How many more of these operations are we going to see? And how do we stop these?
Well, first of all, we have ghost criminals, as the New York City Police Commissioner refers to the gangs that are causing havoc in New York. They're all over the country. So let's remember, the cartels are running the largest ever human trafficking, sex trafficking, human smuggling, drug smuggling operations ever because of wide open borders. But let me tell you, yesterday, I got a call from a mom in Georgia, and I'm still upset. She just lost her second son at 19 years old. So she lost a 22-year-old son, not a 19-year-old son. One kid, but two kids, and then the babies that are dying all over the U.S. Where is the outrage? It's disgusting.
It is. We have to leave it there. Derek Maltz, Mark Morgan, thank you so much for your expertise. We appreciate it and the insight here on those topics.